Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to our stream. We're here to talk about this little boy that you see on my screen right here. Initially, there wasn't a lot of information or a lot of pictures out there of this little boy, so I'm fortunate to be able to have this picture. What a beautiful baby boy, so small. And I'm going to tell you, this is one of the images that really captures my heart right here because I love motorcycles. I'm a motorcycle rider, and this is such a tragic thing that happened to this baby boy at the hands of his own mom. If you guys are here listening to my stream, then you guys know that I am talking about this story because it has an incredibly sad twist to this story. But to give you guys some quick updates, as of right now, this baby boy survived what he went through at the hands of this. Is that a woman? Is that a woman? It looks like a woman. It looks like a dude. It looks like it looks like a mannequin. I don't know what the hell this is on my screen, but we're going to call it a human. And this human has a name. We're going to talk about this story. All right. Sorry. I had to get that out. A judge has denied bond for a South Carolina woman that looking like a man accused of setting her car ablaze on the side of a highway Sunday and severely burning her 14-month-old son who sat inside the car, according to news reports. All right. That individual's name on my screen right there is Kaylin, C-A-Y, I spelled it wrong, C-A-Y-L-I-N, Elise, A-L-L-I-S-E, or Alice Watson, W-A-T-S-O-N, 23 years old. And she has been charged with multiple felonies. Let's start. Arson, which is first degree, attempted murder, arson in the third degree, abuse, and infliction of great bodily injury upon a child. So a lot of serious charges in there, and I hope that for each of these charges, they give them to her consecutively. I don't want them to be concurrent. I want them to be consecutive, one on top of another, so that way that we could put this manly face looking broad behind jail for a long time. How many of y'all could agree to that? Let me give you some details. Maybe you will. She will remain in jail at the Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center in Columbia. Her son, let me get her son's picture up on the screen again, right here. Sheila Cherry, my apologies. Sheila Cherry sent in a $2 super chat. She said you're doing a great job. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for your contribution in the super chat. Thank you so much for that. Her son's name is Kyron, K-A-I-R-O-N. He was 14 months old. And this baby boy that you see smiling on my screen suffered burns all over his small body, according to the news in Columbia. He was rushed to the Augusta Burn Center, where he remained in critical condition as of Tuesday. Columbia Police Chief Skip Holbrook told the news media that Watson, the mother, was traveling westbound on the interstate, and I'll show you guys some pictures of that here in a minute, 126 mile marker 1 around 1:30 p.m. Sunday in Columbia when she pulled her car over to the shoulder. She left her toddler in the car. She covered him in fuel. All right? Then set the car and him ablaze and stood watching him burn. That's according to the police. Hashtag not my words for people who always want to tell me, Just Jay, you're getting your story wrong. You don't know all the facts. You don't know all the facts of the story. Well, all I know is the stuff that I report is going to be in court. So argue it with the courts if I'm wrong, all right? She poured gas on this baby, 14 months old. How is he supposed to be able to defend himself against his mom? What is he supposed to do to be able to speak for himself or defend himself? There's nothing he could have done at the hands of his own mom, right? Let me give a shout out to two people real quick. Pamela Trickett, who was in the chat, also a channel member, said, thank you, Jay, for all that you do for the kids. $3 super chat. Thank you so much. Pamela, always showing love. Antoinette Mitchell in the chat sending a very nice $20 super chat to support our cause. Said, you are amazing. You are amazing as well. Thank you so much, Antoinette, for your support. Truly appreciate that. 14 months old, and she poured gas on him. Probably had this baby boy strapped in the car where he couldn't do anything to get himself out. She left her toddler in the car, covered him with fuel, and set him ablaze. Moments later, 4 complete strangers who were traveling in the same direction noticed the car on fire and they pulled over. They stopped to help and they got this baby boy out of the car in time. Not only did these people see something and say something and said something, but they did something. And in this case, I am thankful that somebody jumped into action to save that baby boy's life. 4 people pulled over and got him out of the car just in time to be able to save this precious baby's life. He was pulled from the burning vehicle alive, but here's the bad part. He suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns to a 1/5 of his body, including his legs, his face, his hands, and feet. And currently he is in the hospital. They rescued the child from the burning vehicle and then called 911, which is the proper action. I'm thankful that they did that. That's according to several news reports. The Columbia Fire Department was dispatched to extinguish the blaze, and investigators have not revealed a motive for the incident, but called the fire intentional. Not an accident, intentional. Mark that word, bookmark that word. We'll come back to it. Based on the evidence gathered at the scene, the mother, Watson, also had minor injuries and was treated at the hospital before taken to jail. That's just kind of standard. But it's unclear whether she's seen a judge or has a lawyer representing her. Now, here's an important part. Hashtag where's the father? Anybody wondering? The biological father, Kyron's dad, his name is Stephen Bramson. And he says that the toddler has already undergone 1 emergency surgery and he will need another one, as well as skin grafts to help his wounds heal. Yes, this is very horrific. Police called to the scene of the fire noted that the toddler and Watson both smelled strongly of accelerant that appeared to have been intentionally used to cause great bodily harm, injury, or death. But I'm going to tell you, I personally think it was probably gasoline because it's the easiest thing to get. And it's the first thing you think when you think burning something. But what type of normal individual thinks to damn burn their kids up? I just don't understand. And let's take a pause for the cause real quick. Let me give a shout out to Chantel Mabry in the chat, showing much love. Thank you so much. But if you guys are watching, please click that thumbs up, share the stream, let other people know that we're live. We need a few more people to come in and click that thumbs up, okay? We're just getting started. TT sent in a $2 super chat and said, W4C, this is all for the children. We love you. And thank you, TT, so much. Thank you. Thank you. Now, a GoFundMe page was set up by the biological father, and he said that Kyron is my first and only 13-month-old son whose mother, on May the 17th, set her car on fire with him in the car seat in the back of the car. I told you she had him restrained. I told you. God, that sucks. He has touched many lives of so many with this beautiful smile and his sweet soul. Growing up and becoming and being an adult in today's society, you would never think anything like this can hit so close to home. Investigators have yet to share a motive for Watson's alleged crime, although the mom had several minor driving-related convictions at the time of the fire. Now, Bramson has shared further updates about his son, who is being treated at the Augusta Burn Center in Georgia, and Kyron is said to have responded very well to his first surgery, with doctors saying it's unlikely he will have any scarring on his face. Thank God for technology. How about that? Isn't that positive? That's something positive in such a grim story. Let me take a pause for the cause real quick, and let me welcome Ida Hill, who joined the channel membership. And I want to say thank you and welcome to the AFC, where what we are here to do is stand up and give these babies a voice. Shout out to you and thank you and welcome to our new channel member. Jaja Rose sent in a $2 super chat and said respect and love. Jaja, thank you so much for your contribution. Definitely appreciate that. And also let me give a shout out to Shaylin Fritcher in the chat, and she said support for the AFC. Shaylin, thank you so much for your support. Now, for the speculation part, this is pure speculation. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm off on this. I think the mom was pissed off at the biological father, and she did what so many other horrible mothers, hashtag not all, but she did the one thing that so many horrible mothers do in order to try to hurt the biological father by murdering a kid that he clearly loves. What do y'all think about that? I think she's a jealous mom and a mom who is just psychotically out of her mind and only did this to this precious soul to try to hurt the biological father. That is my personal opinion, all right? Let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage, and let me let you guys see what was in the news videos. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Here we go. Let's get it.
Columbia police announced the arrest of a 23-year-old mother accused of setting a car on fire with her 14-month-old child inside. Kaylin Watson is currently behind bars, charged with attempted murder, arson, and great bodily injury to a child. Watson is accused of setting her car on fire with her baby inside the vehicle. The incident happened yesterday afternoon along I-126 near the Greystone Boulevard exit. The boy suffered severe burns and is in critical condition at the Augusta Burn Center in Georgia. Several bystanders saw the fire and stopped to help get the child out of the vehicle. Investigators are working now to determine a motive in this incident.
This is WIS News 10 at noon. Live, local, now.
We begin your news at noon with breaking news. Columbia police say a 23-year-old woman is accused of intentionally setting a car on fire with her baby inside. It happened yesterday afternoon on I-126 around 1:30 in the afternoon. Police say Kaylin Watson is charged with attempted murder, first and third degree arson, and child abuse. The child, who is 14 months old, is in critical condition at the Augusta Burn Center, suffering severe burns all over his body. Watson was taken into custody after evidence showed the fire may have been intentionally set. She was treated for minor injuries before being taken to jail. Officers say 4 witnesses stopped to help the child when they saw the blaze near the bridge crossing over the Broad River at mile marker 1. Police called those efforts heroic, and they arrived on the scene moments later. The State Law Enforcement Division helped to process the crime scene, and Columbia police say they're still working to determine a motive.
Well, we have an update this midday on a suspicious car fire along I-126 yesterday afternoon. Columbia police announced the arrest of a 23-year-old mother accused of intentionally harming her 14-month-old child. The incident happened yesterday afternoon along I-126 near the Greystone Boulevard exit, which is near the zoo. Now, Kaylin Watson of Elgin is currently in jail, charged with attempted murder, arson, and great bodily injury to a child. Watson is accused of setting her car on fire with her young son inside. The boy suffered severe burns and is in critical condition at the Augusta Burn Center in Georgia. Several bystanders saw the fire and stopped to help to get the child out of that vehicle. Investigators are working to determine a motive for the incident.
I am so thankful that people saw it, pulled over, and helped, because it saved this baby boy's life. Y'all can see from the pictures right there, it was real bad, man. It was real bad. Now, how they were able to get there that quick and save that baby is beyond me. Let me address a couple things that people said in the chat. We had somebody who said, I went through a bitter divorce, but I never thought of hurting my kids. Not ever. And I never said too many bad things that happened between me and the father. I just kept on loving my kids. Thank you. That's my point as far as making sure and putting your children first. I had somebody ask me about a situation, because I don't really give too much dating advice, but I did have somebody email me, and thank you to the people that emailed me. I did get most people back a response, but in the situation asking about, is it necessary for background checks? And I just said, think about this. There's so many situations where people have stuff on their record, and if you would just check and see what their record is, even if it does cost money, if it costs you $10, $20, $2, think of it as an investment in your children to just find out certain details about a person's behavior. And if you find out that those behaviors are reprehensible, then you could very well prevent dealing with somebody who might put your children at risk. Now, if you're single and don't have any kids, then I get it. You do what you do. But I think it's more or less a responsible thing for people to just do background checks. Very simple things, okay? And I've been emailing people those links, and I appreciate y'all for even asking. And somebody else in the chat said, I wonder what y'all think about mothers giving primary custody to the father and the mother gets school breaks. Does that make her a bad mom? It absolutely does. I'm going to tell you like this. It's a very simple answer. It does not make any parent a bad parent when you recognize that you need help and you reach out to the other parent and y'all guys try to work something out. To me, that's normal. That's very normal to say, like in a situation like me and my daughter's mom's situation was very unique because I ended up getting a job on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that worked 40 hours a week, which is really difficult to do, while I kept my daughter Monday through Thursday so she could go to work. And my daughter didn't have to go to daycare for a very long time. Matter of fact, I just saw my daughter this weekend. Shout out to my daughter, Crystal Chan. She's out there watching her daddy. I love you. And just knowing where she's at now, I'm so thankful the fact that me and my daughter's mom sacrificed, some of our happiness to make sure and some of our finances and whatever else that it is that we needed to do to make sure that my daughter had what she needed. If I was dating a chick, I did not have any chicks around my daughter, and I would hope that my daughter's mom didn't have no dudes around my daughter, but just saying. I think she has enough respect to not just bring dudes around my daughter, but nonetheless, I think it's a very, very normal thing to work with the other parent and do what you have to do, even if you hate each other's guts. And in my opinion, this woman or manly looking chick, I'm sorry, she is just look like somebody took like a crowbar to her face. I'm sorry. She is just very weird looking. Produced a beautiful baby, but she's weird looking though. I'm just saying, all right? But that baby that y'all see on the left-hand side of my screen did nothing to deserve what he got. At all. There is no excuse for this. Don't tell me mental illness. Don't talk about postpartum. Don't continue to keep giving people excuses for making horrible judgments. You understand? There is no excuse for being given custody of a kid, and you would think that that person has the mental capacity to raise a kid. So if you're going to give that person custody off top, then in my opinion, then you should hold those people fully responsible for the actions that they take with those kids or against those kids. That's my personal opinion. Now, last part about this particular story real quick before we move on to story number 2. And if you guys are listening, please click that thumbs up. We do have one more thing that I'm going to share with you guys about another story. The biological father, as you guys can see on this screen, his name is Stephen Bramson. He's the biological father of this baby boy. He is going to live. The baby boy is going to live, which I'm very, very happy to report that, right? Initially, so you guys are not thrown off, the initial GoFundMe was asking for $100,000, which is, that's an inordinate amount of money. It's an inordinate amount of money. But because they qualified for Medicare and Medicare said that they were going to pick up a lot of this cost, he upped, and I'm going to tell you, this is why I respect the biological father and what he did. Because most people in this situation might have just left it at that $100,000 and hoped they could have got $100,000. The dad did the responsible thing, and he dropped it down from $100,000, as you guys can see up there, and dropped it down to $35,000 because he does still need some financial help because this baby boy is going to be going through a lot, especially going forward and trying to adjust. But I did want to talk about that, and if you guys want to look up the GoFundMe, it's under Chiron's Recovery. And even as of 10 minutes ago, people are still in there donating, okay? But nonetheless, I wanted to share this story with you guys. And even right here, it says, Medicaid is here. Chiron has coverage. Thank you, everyone, for your prayers. They worked. He said, like I stated, I drastically lowered the GoFundMe, and I'm sure there will still be other expenses that Medicaid will not cover. And I thank everyone for their help. That's from the biological father, and I totally respect that. To the biological father, man, I'm wishing you well, and I'm wishing you and your son a speedy recovery and that you can get him and just really just enhance his life, and that he can grow up and become something great. Shout out to baby Kyron. This, I think, will end up in a positive result. All right. This is your boy DJ Just J. We're the AFC, where we advocate for children first. Thank you for listening to this story. Okay. Now, just to let you guys know, that's part 1 of our stream. Are you guys ready to move to part 2? Can you guys type in the chat and let me know we're getting ready to move into part 2, so that way I don't have to remind everybody that we're doing a 2-part story? Is that okay? If you guys can do that for me. We're not even really doing 2 parts. We're really doing like a whole bunch of stories all at one time, okay? So, like I said, man, I definitely appreciate everybody who's here. We almost got 200 people here. If you guys are ready, Mark Pinkney, what's going on? Guys, I will shout you guys out. Shoot me a cash app, shoot me $1, and I will shout you guys out individually. Because I can't shout out everybody. I can't shout out all 200 people, all 200 names. But just know, guys, I do appreciate everybody who is here. Matter of fact, let me give another shout out to Jaja Rose, who put $10 on it. And she said, thank you. And I truly, truly appreciate that. I appreciate anybody who joins the channel membership. Everything that you guys contribute counts. Even the Patreon, it all counts, okay? Everything counts. If you guys would, please type part 2 in the chat so we can go ahead and start part 2. Because this next story is going to be real wild. If y'all saw the title, then some of y'all already know what this is about to be about. Real crazy. They want to talk about gun violence? No, I don't call gun violence. I call it idiots with guns. There's a big ass difference. Guns don't do anything. They're inanimate objects until you make them do something, right? You don't just sit a gun on the table and that gun go out and go kick somebody's ass. Doesn't work that way. So I wish they stopped calling it gun violence. Call it idiot violence. Call it irresponsible citizen violence. Call it something else. Shit. Guns are not the enemy. Just like fast food ain't the enemy. It's the people who consume too much of this crap that are being irresponsible, right? That's all I'm saying. Pamela Trickett sent in a $2 super chat, and I want to say thank you so much. Shout out to Pamela. You are the bomb as well. All right, so here we go. Let me swap out these news clips real quick because there's only a couple of them. This don't take too long. Guys, y'all got to admit, I was ready to rock and roll with this one. I've got a lot I want to talk about, and we're going to get it done. So I've got this all prepared, ready to rock and roll. Let's go ahead and get into part 2. Hell, look at that. I even titled the stories correctly. How about that? How about that? Oh, Lord have mercy. They said, damn right, Jay, guns don't kill people. Stupid people with guns kill people. I don't know why that's not common knowledge for people. Did you hear about the young girl that killed herself on Facebook? I did not. Matter of fact, nobody emailed it to me, so I didn't see it. I don't know that I want to see it, but if you have it, you can email me the link. But don't take a screenshot of it, like if y'all would. Sometimes the screenshots are a bit difficult to fix because the screenshots, sometimes they're real blurry and I can't see them. So just send me the link. Copy the URL and then paste that URL. If that's all you're saying, I can pick it up. Danica Whitley sent in a $2 super chat. She said, hello, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here, sweetheart. Truly, truly appreciate it. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get it. This one's going to be a little bit difficult. Most people are probably here to hear this particular story. This effed up love story. Oh, I want to cuss so bad. I'm trying not to cuss, though. Trying to be a good boy. Oh, man. Let's talk about this ghetto love story, man. Y'all ready for this? Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to talk about the typical ghetto love story, and I'm sorry to report it that way, but in my opinion, that's how I feel about this story, and you're getting ready to hear why I feel about this story. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Out of Calhoun County, South Carolina, but it's a crazy story of a mom, her daughters, and this crazy ass fool on my screen right now. Calhoun County, South Carolina, please step up to the front of the room. We got to talk about y'all for a moment, okay? This woman is a mother, and 2 of her children, as well as her, were shot to death Sunday night by a man who then killed himself, and that's according to Calhoun County Sheriff's Department in South Carolina. That woman's name that you see on my screen is Shanta, or Shanta. I'm assuming that's Shanta. Shanta Singleton was 37 years old. She's my age. Essence Stroman, who was her daughter, was 15 years old. These pictures will be a little bit small, so I'm sorry that they're a little bit small to see, okay? Essence Stroman, one of her daughters, 15 years old, and Trevay Stroman, another one of her daughters, 12 years old. And one of her other daughters was shot too, but she survived. But these 3 were killed in the shooting, according to Calhoun County Coroner's Office. Now, let's get back to the boyfriend. Dun, 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 dun. What's my hashtag, guys? What is my famous hashtag? The AFC hashtag is when you date thugs, you date death. How many times have I said that? Y'all think it's cute just because y'all look good in pictures. Let's back it up. Let's back it up. Y'all think y'all look good because y'all out of town with the palm trees in the background. We got on nice outfits. We looking good. We stunting on them hoes, right? This my boo. This my baby. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look at that. Yeah, another nice picture. I'm Gucci'd out head to toe looking good with my outfits on and my headbands and blah, blah, blah. Right? Matching from head to toe with my earrings. Got my hair, nails, and toes did. All I'm saying is that the dynamic of dating these horrible ass choice of dudes is going to lead to bad results. Now, do y'all want to hear what happened? Anybody want to hear what happened? Well, like to hit go. Gabriel Jordan, who is 37 years old, he's also my age. He is accused of killing the 3 before killing himself. So this was a murder, multiple murder, suicide, damn near a mass shooting. All right. The incident happened Sunday in Bugle Flower Lane in St. Matthews. Investigators say that Singleton, the mother, Shanta Singleton, was on her way home from Myrtle Beach with her daughters when they realized that they were being followed. How many of y'all know where Myrtle Beach is? I'm going to give you a precursor, if I'm using that word right. I'm going to give y'all a precursor to lead you guys up to what actually happened in this story. First of all, I want you to bookmark the word. She was on her way home from Myrtle Beach. Bookmark that statement. On her way home from Myrtle Beach with her daughters, because there is something missing in that part of the story. Let me just go ahead and tell you. Let me just cut the suspense, okay? She was at Myrtle Beach with someone, which is the thing that caused her to be followed. Uh-oh. It's getting a little hot in here. Whew. Y'all please make sure and click that thumbs up. Share the stream. Let everybody know that we're live. We got a good amount of people in the building. Click the thumbs up. Click the thumbs up if you haven't already done so. Thank you to those who already did. So I gave you a precursor. Let's get it. Investigators say that Shanta Singleton was on her way home from Myrtle Beach with her daughters when they realized that they were being followed. Gabriel Jordan was in the car behind them. So, to the people in the chat, here's what I want you guys to absorb for a moment. Why would she be in a place like Myrtle Beach with her daughters without her current boyfriend? Don't y'all find that a bit odd? Maybe he couldn't get off of work. Maybe he didn't have his own money. Maybe they were going through some issues. Huh? Don't y'all think that's a little bit odd for them to be taking a family trip when a big portion of the family was not there? Y'all don't find that odd so far? But let me give you guys the rest of the story and you'll figure out why it's a little bit odd. Gabriel Jordan was following them in a car behind them. When they arrived at home, deputies say that Shantae Singleton and Gabriel Jordan got into an argument. That's when Jordan went inside the home and grabbed a gun. So clearly, he had access to the house. Let me say that again. Clearly, he had access to the house still. So that either means A, he had a key, or B, he kicked in the door. But chances are, if the gun was in the house and he knew where the gun was and he had access to the house, I'm thinking he probably had a key, right? So that means to me that he was still living there. Oh shit, yes, it's getting deep. We're getting ready to step knee deep in this shit here, okay? So in my opinion, he still had a key, he still lived there. And she took a trip without him, okay? Now, they got into an argument, and that's when Gabriel went inside the home and grabbed a gun. He started to choke Singleton, her, then he shot her. Also, her daughter, Trevay Stroman, one of the kids, jumped on Jordan's back and tried to take him down. Lord Jesus, bless these children. Mom got choked, mom got shot, and one of the kids tried to jump in on this big old huge looking dude. One of these little bitty frail kids. Let me show y'all a picture of these kids. I'm sorry, but none of these children are very big. Not big enough to try to take down a grown ass man. I'm gonna show y'all a group picture of them. Right here. Look at this picture and you tell me which one of these girls do y'all think could take that grown man down? Huh? Anybody, any of them? Cute family pictures. But notice that he's significantly, he's almost twice the size of the mom. And then look at those girls compared to the height and size of their mom. So, one of the children, look how big that dude is. Sorry guys, but I might think twice about jumping on this big ass fucking dude. It's a big guy. He is a huge, big guy. One of the daughters, Trevay Stroman, jumped on Gabriel's back and tried to take him down. That's when he shot that baby. He shot her and killed her. Essence ran back into the home. That's when Gabriel Jordan followed her into the home and he shot and killed Essence. Then Singleton's 18-year-old daughter, Shantasia Stroman, suffered a gunshot wound to the arm, so he tried to kill her too. But she was treated and released from the hospital, okay? Now, deputies say that they responded to the home around 7 that evening and discovered 4 bodies with gunshot wounds. 2 other children who were at the home at the time were able to escape. Officials say that they ran to a neighbor's home for help. The neighbor greeted Gabriel Jordan on his back porch and told him to leave. One child was unharmed while the other was shot in the arm and is being treated at the hospital. Gabriel Jordan, I want y'all to hear this. Gabriel Jordan was the father of one of the children, but it's unclear if it's one of the deceased children or the one that escaped, said authorities. I'm going to read that again, and the reason why I repeat this is because it's a lot to take in. Gabriel Jordan, the dude who did this, is confirmed to be the father of one of her 4 children. Let's take a look at that family photo again. I want y'all to look at this. Y'all see his face. Y'all see her face. 2 dark-skinned people. And I want y'all to look at the family photo, if I can get it up. right here. Which one of those kids do you think was his? Because honestly, I couldn't tell. I could not tell at all. But I'm going to tell you that this woman at least has 2 baby daddies. One being Gabriel Jordan and the other one being another man, which we're getting ready to talk about here in a minute. So she might have multiple baby daddies. Plus, there's more to the story. Are y'all ready to hear the rest? I know this is getting crazy. Y'all bear with me, okay? We don't know which one of these girls was his. But Calhoun County Sheriff Thomas Summers said that the slayings were a result of a domestic violence argument that went really bad. Now, here's where the rubber starts to meet the road. Singleton and Jordan were together on and off for many years. Let me read that again. This man and the mom were together on and off for many years. You know what that says to me? That means that this whole back and forth bullshit, he was probably fucking around, she was probably fucking around. It's a stupid thing to do. And the fact that this woman has that many kids, you are putting your children and your body at risk, not only for sexual diseases, but bringing that many kids around your, that many men around your kids. That's at least 2, and the possibility of more. I'm going to tell you there's a reason why I say that. Singleton told Jordan, Shantae told that man that you see on my screen, you see he's clearly bigger than her, a lot bigger than her. The mom told the boyfriend that she was going to break up with him because she had a new boyfriend who also went to Myrtle Beach with them. Woo! Did y'all catch what I just said? I'm going to say it again. I don't think we had enough people. I don't think 300 people heard what I just said. The mom told that fool that y'all see on my screen that she was going to break up with him because the mom had a new boyfriend who also went to Myrtle Beach with her and her daughters. Hello. Chantel said, wait, what? Yes, that's what I told y'all. It's going to be crazy. Before y'all go saying R.I.P. mom, oh, she was a good mom. She was a great mom to her girl. She loved her daughters and this and that. I'm sorry, but you don't love your kids if you continue to bring anybody and everybody around your kids. Did y'all mark what I just said? A parent, whether it be a mother or a father, hashtag not all. I do not think a parent is a suitable parent if they are willing to bring any Tom, Dick, Harry, Mary, or Jane around their children. Yes? We can at least agree to that, right? It makes you a questionable parent if you're just willy-nilly having people around your fucking kids, knowing how much stuff is going on out here in this world with kids being raped, kids being shot, kids being molested, kids being kidnapped, abducted, sold into sex trafficking. Hello, anybody hear me? No, nobody hears what I'm saying right now. No, nobody, everybody must think I'm the crazy one, right? I'm a coon. I'm over here tap dancing for the white man. I'm over here spinning a narrative just to make black people look bad. Apparently that's what I'm doing, right? But maybe some people, like the AFC and our channel members and our moderators, some people actually heard me say, don't bring strangers around your children. Hashtag stranger danger. Hello. This alkaline water is real good. It's got my brain focused right now. The argument began outside of the home, according to reports. The daughter said that when the mother told Jordan of her intentions to leave him and she had a new boyfriend, that she was going to go to Myrtle Beach with and go get her freaky deaky on, he became irate. And he ran into the house where he retrieved a gun and came back outside. Now, I always say this, and I know people don't like it when I say nigga lions in the nigga zoo. The reason I say that is because of the fact that these dudes, these thugs, are like wild animals. Y'all understand? And to me, wild animals are generally kept at zoos. They're not domestic. They're wild as shit. And to me, these thugs are like wild animals because as soon as you do the wrong thing, move the wrong way, say the wrong thing, don't feed them on time, or just they having a bad freaking day, what do these wild animals at the zoo do? They attack what is around them, aka your children. They'll take it out on the trainer, who is the mom. The animal trainer in this case is the mom. She thought she could contain this nigga lion, and this nigga lion, when she pissed off the nigga lion and smacked the nigga lion in the face, said, I got me as a new man. I was going to give some of this fat booty to one of these other thugs out here, since you ain't putting it down right, since you ain't a real man, since you don't want to go down and do this and that, and blah, blah, blah. She probably talk cash shit to this man. What y'all want to bet? I know ain't nobody going to admit it, but women have a tendency to either make men enhance themselves or turn men into the worst of themselves, which is why I believe it's a dangerous thing for women to be the only ones who are raising kids with no male influence, because all of those kids that are being raised by only women are going to learn only from the mother's perspective. That is dangerous for everybody. Understand? Everybody understand, I hope. He became irate, and the nigga lion went, yeah, 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 and went and mauled the shit out the mom, and then the little baby tried to come and jump on the back of the nigga lion, and the nigga lion turned around and said, yeah, 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 and mauled that little kid, and then now his emotions are up, he's in a rage, he's hyped up, and then oh shit, there's another one running, and he and jumped and murdered one of the other kids and tried to kill everybody in sight. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. I'm getting ready to talk about that picture here in a minute. And I want y'all to look at where that man's hand is in that picture. Now, he might not even be the guy that went to Myrtle Beach, but I'm going to talk about him here in just a moment, okay? So I want you to keep that picture in your head. The daughter said that when the mom told her of her intentions, the boyfriend became irate and ran into the house and grabbed a gun and came back outside, which is where he choked her and shot her. Shantae Singleton told her daughters to go inside the house. While they were inside, they watched Jordan choke their mother by the shed in the backyard. At that time, the daughters went outside and they said, screw that, and they went out to try to help their mama. The Calhoun County Sheriff's Office and the Calhoun County Coroner's Office are continuing to investigate this story. But to me, it's a pretty clear case of this woman doing too damn much. I'm going to show you why. The man that you guys see in this picture right here, that is the biological father of one of her 4 children. I know this is why y'all love to come to my channel, because Just Jay always brings forth a very, very full story. I'm going to say that again. That man with his hand all up on her ass. Y'all see that, right? Oh, you say y'all can't see it? Okay, I got you. Y'all say y'all can't see that picture. You need Just Jay to blow it up just a little bit so you guys can see how much ass he has in his hand. Let's blow this picture up just for a moment. This is the biological father of one of her 4 children. Uh-huh. Want you guys to also notice something else. Boom. If you ask me, these pictures, in my opinion, don't appear to be that far different as far as time frame. They seem to be within a certain time frame, maybe 5 years, maybe a couple of years. I don't know. I'm speculating. But all I'm saying is that this woman looks the very same, got the very same shape, looked like she's already had the 4 kids, and here she is in a photo with these guys in a similar fashion. I know for sure that the one on the right is the biological father of one of the kids. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because of this. I believe that Shantae, the biological mother, Shantae Singleton, didn't go to Myrtle Beach with either one of these dudes. Y'all want me to say that again? I personally believe that she did not go to Myrtle Beach with either one of the dudes that you see on my screen, and they both are fathers to her children. Hello. Y'all say that's too much for your brain? That's why I wanted to present this story. Because one thing you will not see is a comprehensive story in the news the way that I'm breaking this shit down. I believe that she had a completely new dude. And I want y'all to think about this. The mom didn't even wait until Gabriel, the boyfriend on the left, she didn't even wait for him to move out of the house. Can somebody type that in the chat for me? The mom didn't even wait until this dude moved out of the house before she said that she was already sleeping with another man. If you go to Myrtle Beach and take your kids to Myrtle Beach with another man, you are sleeping with that man. Don't call me with no bull crap, emailing me talking about you don't know if she was sleeping with that man. Bull crap. If you're putting all of that on the line, I'm sorry, but any man who's putting himself on the line and being in a situation like that is definitely going to be getting some ass. That's the damn truth, even if people don't want to admit it. But let me give you guys the fair usage because we got some more to talk about. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Let me take a pause for the cause real quick and let me say this. Faye B, and I'm glad that you're here and I'm glad that you guys asked questions. I caught your question. She said, but did she deserve to die along with her children? I'm not here to say whether she deserved what she got or whether she didn't. What I said is if you turn on a hot stove and put your hand on the hot stove, that you are going to burn your hand. And now, am I going to sit there and say that you deserved for your hand to burn? In this case, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that the stove is hot, and if you put your hand on the goddamn stove, it's going to burn your hand. That's all I'm saying. Hashtag, when you date thugs, you date death. That's exactly what that means. You are playing with the idea of death, knowing that somebody has a jacked up mentality, a violent mentality, and you think that you can control that because your sex is good, because you think that this man ain't going to leave you. You think that he ain't going to walk out on you. You think that this man is everything to you. Because you think that, you think you can do whatever you want to. In the moment that he pisses you off, you think you can do whatever it is that you want to do. That's why she ended up saying, you made me mad, I'm about to go get me a new man. Plain and simple. Here's the videos. Let's get it.
Columbia police announced the arrest of a 23-year-old mother accused of setting a car on fire with her 14-month-old child inside. Kaylin Watson is currently behind bars, charged with attempted murder, arson, and great bodily injury to a child. Watson is accused of setting her car on fire with her baby inside the vehicle. The incident happened yesterday afternoon along I-26 near the Greystone Boulevard exit. The boy suffered severe burns and is in critical condition at the...
That is the wrong video. I thought I swapped these videos out. My bad. Hold on. Hell, let me see. That's the wrong news video. Let me get the right news videos in here, which is... It's probably the wrong video too. Hold on, guys. Let me figure out which video this is. Yep. That's the wrong video. I moved over the wrong video. Let me see what this one is.
Quiet community.
Okay, that one's the right one. Here we go. Sorry about that. I knew I had too many videos in there. What's going on, guys? I'm going to say hi to y'all. I can say hi to you individually if you need to. Shoot me a cash app. I'll definitely shout you out. But here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and get started. Now that we have the right video up. Here we go.
Around 7 p.m. Sunday, Calhoun County deputies pulled up to a home on Bugle Flower Lane near Route 176 and found 4 bodies, including those of 37-year-old Shanta Singleton and her 2 daughters, 15-year-old Essence Stroman and 12-year-old Trevay Stroman.
The entire thing was violent and senseless, and it's just incredibly disturbing to me.
Sheriff Summers says 37-year-old Gabrielle Jordan shot Singleton and her 2 daughters after an alleged domestic dispute escalated into violence. 2 other children managed to escape the home and ran for their lives around the neighborhood.
And he'd look up here, little girl, help, help, help me, help me. He said a man was behind with the gun.
Some neighbors say
I'm going to play that again. I did not understand. Guys, I promise you, I'm not trying to be mean to the neighbors. But I did not understand a word that this woman just said. Let me play that again.
Home and ran for their lives around the neighborhood.
And he'd look up here, little girl, help, help, help me, help me. He said a man was behind with the gun.
I heard her say, help me, help me, help me. I did not understand anything else that Catherine White said. I'm sorry, ma'am, but ooh, boy, that must be the Deep South. I'm sorry. Lord Jesus.
And he'd look up here, little girl, help, help, help me, help me. He said a man was behind with the gun.
Some neighbors say an incident like this is very unusual for their community, and some are having a tough time taking it all in.
This is something I never experienced in my life before. This is a sad time for the neighborhood, and it's a sad time for everybody now.
Sheriff Summers.
Y'all know y'all want to laugh. Be honest. I didn't understand a word that she said. Oh, my Lord. Let's move on, because it ain't about her. Lord have mercy.
Says his deputies never responded to any domestic incidents at the home prior to Sunday. He says an incident like this serves as a reminder for couples to seek help before frustration boils over into violence.
I just hope that anybody that's a victim of domestic violence will see this and see what can happen, what can be the end result, and cry out for help. Call us. Let us help them. Let us intervene before something like this happens.
Tim Scott, ABC Columbia News.
Somebody in the chat said that's Geechee Gullah territory. That is an unexplored area of the South. I'm sorry, bro, but I've been all kinds of South, between Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. Man, and I've been in some small towns, and I haven't heard language that bad, but it's not about her. Let's move on, Just Jay. Just Jay, let's move on, sir.
A mother and 2 of her children are dead after deputies say her boyfriend shot the family at their Calhoun County home. 2 other children managed to escape, and they're safe. Kaylin Hagwood has the story.
This is the home where neighbors say tragedy struck in St. Matthews Sunday evening in an otherwise quiet community. A mother and 2 of her children are dead. Investigators say they were shot by the mother's boyfriend after an argument. Calhoun County Sheriff Thomas Summers says they're still working to find out how things got out of control.
I don't know what the motive was. I don't know what occurred, what the argument was about. We're still working on that. But this, unfortunately, was the end result of it.
37-year-old Shanta Singleton and her 2 teenage children, Essence and Treve, were killed. 2 other children escaped, 1 wounded, before deputies say the gunman took his own life. The sheriff says they had not been to the home for similar calls in the past.
It was unusual because we hadn't been to that house for anything related to that. With this coronavirus, people are stuck inside. We've seen a slight increase in our domestic violence calls, and this is just another instance.
Linda Gran, a neighbor of the family, was inside her home when she says emergency personnel came riding through.
And I said, oh my God, you know, what did happen? My heart goes out to the family because I just can't even imagine how they feel. I can't even make myself comprehend that.
Now I want y'all to notice, even with this woman who lives in the same area, even her verbiage didn't sound as bad as that other lady. Calhoun County, South Carolina. Let me give a shout out to Love My Kind, $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Said hello AFC and hello to you. Shout out to Love My Kind. Let me give a big shout out. She is in the chat. That is Kydra, and Kydra said, keep up the good work, Jay, with the heart emojis, and she sent me a awesome Cash App. So shout out to you, Kydra, and I hope you're listening. Thank you, sweetheart. I really appreciate that.
You know, because that's something you would wish that never happened to anyone.
In Calhoun County, I'm Kaylin Hagwood.
The coroner has identified the gunman as 37-year-old Gabrielle Jordan. Sheriff Summers said investigators are still interviewing witnesses and others who may have information on a motive.
She said Gabrielle. It's Gabriel. It was a dude. All right. That's the wrong video, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that one. Anyway, to wrap up this story, guys, that's the house that this happened at. And I got to tell you, man, that's got to be some crazy stuff. And for the neighbors to say that they were shocked that this happened, I'm going to tell you guys, unless they only been in this town for a little bit amount of time, in that house for a little bit amount of time, those neighbors had to have seen these arguments and fights or heard them before. I don't think it was the first time, but it definitely was the last time, especially for the mom and 2 of her 4 kids. That is so messed up. And like I said, I'm not here to put the blame on the mom and say that the mom deserved what she got. Everybody understand that. I'm not here to say that she's deserved what she got. But what I am here to say is that if you put yourself and your children in a dangerous situation, that bad things are going to happen. Put that in a box, tie a bow around it, wrap it up, and here it is. That's all I'm saying. Nothing more, nothing less. I hate when people try to take what I say and make this shit into way more and dig deeper into really trying to figure out what I'm saying. It's just that simple. If the stove is on hot and it's red and it's glowing and you take yourself over, and I tell you, hey, don't put your hand on that stove, and you walk your ass over there and you put the hand on the stove and it burns your hand, am I saying that you deserve to burn your hand? I'm not saying anything. What I had to say was in the fact that I told you, when you date thugs, you date death. That's self-explanatory. So what happened in this situation? The mom played with her baby daddy's emotions, and I can almost be willing to bet you guys anything. If one of the biological fathers wanted to come out and interview with me, which I'd be happy to do so, and have him come on and tell his side, I can guarantee you that one of those baby dads will come out and say that, yep, she kind of did something similar to me too. Because you know why? Because this woman thought that she looked good. She's still fine after 4 kids. She still got it going on. And can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm a boss. I got my own house. I got my own car. I got on red bottoms. We going to Myrtle Beach. She thought she just had it going on. Because she believes in this idea that most women, not all, but most women in her situation believe that you got to be a bad bitch. You got to be, you got to be a mom. You ain't nothing if you ain't got kids. And your kids love you. They'll do anything for you. And these men grovel at your feet. And what one man won't do, Another man will. Oh, you won't do this? You won't spend your whole paycheck on me? Well, guess what? This sucker over here, this brother over here will. That was not an accident. That was actually intentional. This sucker over here says, you won't pay for my trip to Myrtle Beach. This brother over here will. I know the mentality of most of these chicks. And like I said, I'm not saying that's who she went with, which is one of her baby daddies right there. What I'm saying is that she went with somebody else besides those two. And I'm thinking it was probably somebody brand new. Now, if you still lived in the house with this woman with her 3 kids and one of those kids being yours, and I think that he had other kids also, what man wouldn't get upset by a woman threatening him with a bad time and her having a good time and go giving up her precious temple, her body, to another man carelessly and recklessly while you are still living at the house with all of them? That's crazy. That's insane to think that something bad is not going to happen. And in my opinion, the mother didn't think enough about the 4 children that she already had. She did not think enough about her kids to not put them in harm's way. And what she did by dealing with multiple men and having multiple men in and out of the house and having multiple men for baby daddies and all of this weird dynamic, because she personally wanted some personal pleasure. Her personal pleasures meant more to her than her kids did. Based on what we see, based on what we know, based on what was said, and even based on the testimony of her own oldest daughter, who said exactly what this woman said to her boyfriend. I's got me a new man, and we's going to go do freaky things at Myrtle Beach, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. And you got to live in the house with her. Woo, boy, that's cold. That is cold-blooded. And if y'all don't think that's a cold-blooded ass woman, then guys, I don't know. Maybe you got an ice pump in your chest rather than a heart. Pump it through your body, and you just don't give a shit. But in my opinion, she did the ultimate worst thing that we talk about on this show all the time. She put her kids behind her personal feelings, and I'm asking people, and all I'm asking people to do is think more about your children who deserved an opportunity to grow up to be something great. And you robbed them of that opportunity by bringing unfit creatures around your children. It's a dangerous thing to do. And I'm asking you guys to use this story and her children's story as a cautionary tale, because those two children that passed away can no longer speak for themselves. And when it came down to the crunch, they couldn't defend themselves against this big ass dude. This fool took the coward way out. Again, his name is Gabriel. Let me see. Gabriel Jordan, 37 years old. The mom's name is Shanta, Shanta Singleton, 37 years old. He took the selfish way out and he killed himself because he didn't want to face the music as a man. And if you ask me, he was not a man doing what he did. He couldn't just walk away, get yourself out of the situation, come up with an exit strategy. Do something. But don't go killing people and hurting people. That's just wrong all the way around. That's all I had to say about this story. And I hope that you guys listen to me with an open mind and an open heart. And if you did, you can receive our message. And our main message is to advocate for children first. Please put your children first. Your feelings, your desires come last behind your children. That is my message. Plain and simple. All right? This is your boy DJ Just Jay. We're the AFC, where we advocate for children first. From my heart to yours, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to this sad-ass, ghetto-ass story. That's all I got to say.